And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fan. As their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now they try the right side here. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Now a play fake here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick, and his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Hey, 50.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Kelly, don't let Kelly.
On second down, McCaffrey. Oh, and now he bowls him over. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And this belongs to the Vikings. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Lucky 56. Set. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit. Detroit. All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. Last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now a handoff looking right. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Kevin King, the former Washington Husky, there defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
All right, here we go.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it down to the 32. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing communication.
No move to get the offense off the field here. They've converted once on this drive. On 4th, they'll go again and try it once more.
36.
They'll run forward with a fullback Sherman. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up.
Now they try the right side here. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Oh, eluding the tackle. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Over here.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Inside.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
A couple of first downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
That's fine. Yeah.
Back to the ground. This time Cook. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, a 22. A first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. McCaffrey. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a decent gain on the ground. Call it 6, but it still leaves him with a ways to go on 4th and goal. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Forbath will put this one through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Starting the drive with a give to Mack. A minute 59 to go in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this.
Detroit! Detroit! G33, G33. No. Check. Patriot! Patriot!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
Hey, check 26.
They go play action here on first down. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Hey, check 26.
On first and 10, here's Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And they'll run it here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Hey, let's go, come on. Jump out. Jump out. Zoom.
On second down, here's Rodgers. His throw caught right around the 6. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal.
That's fine now.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Forbath will put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
So we've reached half. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to wind up and air it out. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Packers. Deion Kane, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. Forbath, the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Looking to throw. And it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Gone! 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 Gone!
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They had seized the lead there for a little bit with a starting drive in the third quarter, but a moment ago, the touchdown that puts them back behind.
So their defense is under siege a little bit right now because they have not able to solve their opponents. So they've got to keep hammering away on offense and try and win this one in what appears to be a shootout.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. McCaffrey with a first down and more. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? Five defensive backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
double
dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
Yeah, we saw that advantage right there. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, they're certainly running the ball pretty well on this drive, and all I remember as a secondary guy was if you're making a lot of tackles in a game, that's usually not good for your defense. You've got to figure out how to keep things in front of you because you know there's 3 levels, defensive line, linebackers, and into the secondary. And if the third level is leading your team in tackles, as a general rule, things aren't going so well for your defense.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Hurry up, hurry up. We are going.
They'll run with Cook. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now. That's what they wanted out of that first down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in, and now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side. Line up quickly and go. They're savored a little bit, but I run right back at them.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They'll come out in the pistol. On the ground, McCaffrey. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
That's fine, yeah.
They'll run for it. Cook. And he didn't get there. Knocked backwards to the 2-yard line. Cook turned away on 4th and goal. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And now their defense came through with the goal line stand, got them the ball back. See what they can do about putting a drive together. Long way to go.
They need to reward that defense. A goal line stand, they've got to make that stand up themselves, right? Give the defense a chance to catch their breath on the sidelines. At least get 2 first downs. 3 would be better. Change field position. Let them catch their breath. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Barthema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And that gets him a little room as he'll take this up over the 10-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell him to take care of the ball and try and move forward.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to have the first down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. On play action, they'll throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the play. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target. And now it's third down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Hey, check. 3 down. Check.
Now on fourth down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. From the gun, it's Rodgers. That's Samuel, caught left side. Room to run inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
All right.
Rodgers now on first down. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it, for them to get downfield that quickly?
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Kevon Seymour. He's at the 50, 30, 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. But they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, check 26.
On first down, Rodgers. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Jordan Jenkins in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. On play action, Rodgers. Throw left side on target to Kane, complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A pretty good mark there. They needed 14. They got 14 on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Tease Tabor. And the return won't go anywhere. They'll be back deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Try to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards, first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
you.